anything that you actually want is just on the other side of doubt and fear.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Artistically Married, where art and opportunity collide. We're your hosts, Jake Ackerman.
And Brienne Steinberg.
And today we have Elysha Emrich with us, a good friend, a world traveler, a massage therapist, a yoga teacher.
Woo!
Forgot the last one.
I read it beforehand.
Yeah. Spiritual enthusiast.
Yee-hoo.
Do you like that title?
Thanks. I don't know. I've never had that specific one, but that's cool. I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about it. Me and Elysha have been friends all of us have been friends for a really long time. Mm-hmm. So yeah, when I was thinking of your title, the list just went on and on and on.
That's so great. Sweet.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Happy to have you.
Oh man, it's so great to be here.
Yeah.
So cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So why don't you just take us through a brief, let's maybe go from high school to now, kind of what your, you can touch on your lifestyle and what your occupation and kind of how your occupation brought you to where you were traveling and then to where you are now.
Well,
take a big breath.
Inhale. Here we go. Yeah. Well, if this is all kind of what drew me into what I'm doing now, I probably didn't realize what I was being drawn into until in my 20s.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of going with the flow of things. But when I was younger, actually, elementary school to high school, I loved dancing. I did tap, ballet, jazz, all that stuff. Yeah. And I really loved it. And I actually felt that was probably the leading into of me becoming this person that's into spirituality and health and wellness of the body and the mind and the heart and the soul, because I feel like dance really takes care of a lot of that. It's so expressive. So it helped me come into myself. It helped me to connect to my feelings. And that's, I think, the beginning, getting into spirituality and getting into, yoga and massage and the wellness of the body. Mm-hmm. But I remember in my 20s, and I didn't even really know yoga. And I think I stopped dancing and I joined the Y because I thought, maybe I need to do something.
Go to the gym.
Yeah. Check it out. Yeah. And so I went to the gym and there was a woman there and she was blonde, gorgeous, stunning woman, so feminine and she just reminds me of this swift flowing woman that comes in. And I was like, wow, who is that? She taught the yoga. So I went to her classes and she was the softest feminine woman. Her class was so calming, and I just was whoa, totally transformed. Every time I was in that class, I was like, this is so good, to the point that I didn't tell anyone I was going because I didn't want anyone to come with me. It was my space.
Yeah.
I really loved it.
Yeah, you didn't want the distraction.
I wasn't going to tell my friends, come to yoga. I was like, no, this is mine now. It's mine. But when I started telling people that I was doing it, a lot of them would reflect back to me and say, oh, I think you'd make an awesome yoga teacher. You should do that. And I just was like, all right, well, it's just a trend. I'm not doing the trendy things. Yeah. I do it for me. I'm not doing it to be it. I just do it for me.
Yeah.
And then
especially when you're used to the class setup, I go to my class. When you're a dancer, you're used to that kind of setup, right? That situation. So yeah.
Yeah. Cool. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it evolved after that. I can't remember what else you asked.
No, I was just wondering kind of how you got, I actually wanted to hear about your travels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How did that happen? That come about?
Yeah. When did it start?
Well, when I was young, luckily my parents, they grew up wanting to give us a good life. They didn't travel much in their childhood. So when I grew up, they were like, we want to give them as much as we can. So they took us traveling. So we got it already in our blood because we'd have family vacations. My grandma used to have a house in Florida. We used to drive every year. So it kind of got you already into the path of going outside of your own little bubble world and going out there. And then I remember, how did it start? Oh my God, what was it? I think it was just somehow got into my head around in my 20s as well. Maybe when I was at the time doing yoga and stuff. And somehow I got in my head I wanted to backpack Europe, but I just knew I wanted to do it. So I spoke to all my friends to see if I can convince anybody who would want to do it with me for my first time.
Yeah.
But I think I got it because I already traveled with my parents. We went on cruises. So that's you get a variety pack of just popping into an island, popping out. We went to anywhere in the States. We did Mexico and Dominican and all those places.
Yeah.
And I think that put the flavor in my mouth of seeing all the different ways you can live. different ways that people like connect with one another in their cultures, like what they do. Like a lot of people, their cultures are like they love to dance and sing all the time.
Yeah.
Like that, and it's not like you go to a dance; it just happens.
Yeah, they're just in their kitchen. They're making
just
dinner.
how it
they're
is.
Dancing around,
and it was like so flavorsome.
Yeah,
and I was like, "That's what I'm going for. I'm chasing that now."
Yeah,
and so that's what set it in. And it was like, "I'm going to go to Europe. Europe sounds cool."
Yeah,
and so I started backpacking at 22, backpacked Europe. And then I just got it in my head that what my lifestyle for a while would just be, I'm going to work really hard, save up a lump sum of money. Yeah. Once I have enough that I feel like I could just go for it for a couple months at a time, I'm going to just take off travel, spend my money down to the last quarter.
Yeah.
When I'm at the bottom quarter, I come home. Amazing. So it's enough to just get me started again and then work. And then I'd leave.
Yeah.
And that put me in this place of traveling and then I was like, you know what? I can do it on my own. I don't actually need to go with anybody. And I kind of enjoyed that also. Really got to learn about myself a lot more.
We're really going to get into that because I think that like that is really what happens when you travel. Like,
it
doesn't matter who your companions are, who you meet there. I think that like the greatest gift you get from traveling is just that relativity, right? Like this is where I came from. This is what I know. And now this is changing everything because now I'm in this new place with these new people and new things, right?
And I think there's something exciting about that.
Oh, it's the most exciting thing.
Yeah,
like,
it's like
you can't take anything with you, so it's not even about like it like erases material goods.
Yeah,
and it just becomes you and your experiences and your memories.
Yeah,
which is so cool.
And there's a sense of freedom in the sense that like you're always who you are, but when you go places, like you get to try out wearing a different skin.
Yeah.
No one knows who you are, so you can really be anyone.
Yeah.
And that's a huge way to explore so much in life.
Yeah. Yeah, I always say that to him. I'm just like, no one knows me here. You know, I'm like stripping down from the beach and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, well,
nobody knows you.
No one knows us here. It's fine.
And eventually you take that into your real life. You're like, you know what? I am just me. Even if people know me, I am going to unchange right here.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. Yeah, exactly. It becomes you can be confident in what you like.
I feel like it takes a bit of time to get there too. I always found when we go on vacation, you need like at least a week there to kind of like decompress from the life that you were living before and then just kind of figure out what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then when I look back on my trips, I was like, I was a completely different person when I was in these places because, well, you had to be like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're out of your comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not what you're used to.
And I like when you had said like it takes time to go from that one place to the new place. You need like some time to get there first.
Yeah.
And I do remember when I started traveling, I didn't like having a fully planned schedule where every day was accounted for. I really only planned the first 3 to 5 days of just where I was, my accommodation. And if there was like a few top sites I wanted to see that I knew you needed to like kind of plan, I'd eyeball those out. Otherwise, I just wouldn't go knowing where I'm going to sleep the first night, at least the first night or the first 3 nights. And then from there, get a sense of what it feels like and how do I like this? Do I want to change it? Do I want to stay? Do I want to explore it? And then I'd extend or carry on, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you're just like, I love this coffee shop. I'm never leaving.
I'm going to come again. I'm going to stay for another week. This is great.
Yeah. This is my place. I found a cool coffee shop.
Yeah.
So then, walk us through, I think, like, did you end up getting a job and that's when you moved to Australia?
Oh, Australia. Okay, so this is funny. When I first was traveling, my first backpacking trip in Europe, and we went to 8 different countries. And in that time, I met this group of Australian guys, maybe like 6 of them.
Say no more.
End of story. Goodbye. Thanks, everyone.
Tell us more.
And,
they're babes.
For sure. And we became friends in the first, like, you know, whatever. And it was just like, you know, shits and giggles, like at the bar, whatever.
Yeah.
And then that was the first country. I can't remember which one it was. And then one of them, I know it was Venice. And the other one was Portugal, but maybe the first one was Spain. I don't know. But anyways, we saw them at the first place and it was like, oh, you guys are cool. Where are you going next? And they told us their like flow. And we're like, yeah, that's our general flow too. Maybe we'll see you again. We see them again. So then it was like, you guys, like a week or 2 later, we're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So then we were like, well, okay, now we're like going to be friends.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to be real friends
Now
now.
we're traveling together.
Yeah. So then it was like, yeah, we're going to Portugal. They're like, we're going to Portugal. We were like, we're just there, but we loved it so much, we might go back. So we went back when they were there.
Amazing.
And in that time, I became friends with them. And they said to me, and they didn't say to the girl I was with, I was traveling with, my friend. They said it just to me. They said, you should come to Australia. You would love it. And I was in this place of like, Australia wasn't on my list because I was more into like Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, stuff where it's like really culturally different.
Yeah.
And it was going to be like, I just wanted to experience that difference. And I heard back in the day that Australia is like a tropical
like
Canada.
Yeah.
That's what people say.
Right.
So I was like, nah. But they were like, you got to come, you're going to love it. So I had that seed planted of a curiosity of what do they see in me that they think I'll love?
Yeah.
Which I take as a compliment. So I was determined, and I said it's going to take me at least 1 year, maybe 2 to get there. So at the 1 year mark I checked in with my friend that I was traveling with. Her name was April. And I said, so did you want to come to Australia with me? And at the time, she just got into a relationship. I think they moved in together. What, I don't know, whatever. And I just know, like, I don't see her moving to Australia for a year at this point. Yeah. So I was like, all right. I think that was the beginning of me going, all right, I actually am doing this on my own, and this is going to be my journey.
Yeah.
And so I went, and I spent that first year in Australia. I became really good friends with that group of guys. And in that group, I met some of their girlfriends. We became friends. Mm-hmm. And then the year I left, went on with my life. 6 years later, I get a phone call from one of the couples, like the guy who had the girlfriend that I became friends with. Mm-hmm. And we stayed in touch like every couple years, or maybe once a year we get a message or something.
Yeah.
They called me. There's like, hey, Elysha, can we call you? We want to talk to you for a sec. Out of nowhere. And I was like, yeah, all right. And they're like, so we're going to have a baby, but we need someone that we trust, that's reliable, that's good with people, that's just like, good spirits, and that would be good for the business, that like, it's like family to us. And so we were wondering, do you want to come out and work for us? And in that moment, I was actually in the darkest place of my life at that time, probably one of the darkest. And it was, I was
back here in Canada?
I was in Canada
okay.
On like a little intermission between my travels, but I came back. Such a big story for where I was. I was traveling the world at the time, and I was like, determined to just keep going, and I actually planned enough money that I could go for just a year of just traveling with no working. I saved enough money, and I had done like Africa, I did Europe, and then from there I went to Indonesia, and I was in Indonesia, and I had a really bad accident, and then I was going to go on to Australia for the second time at this point. But I ran out of insurance money, and I was still recovering from my accident. So I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? I'll just go home. I'll just go home and recover and save up again and then hit it in a year. Yeah. So I went back home, and I was back home. And 6 months later, I was in another car accident. And that was me. I just was like, well, I was holding on to my last straws. I was holding on to the like, how much can you tell yourself you're okay while you heal through a traumatic situation? And I was like, oh my God, it was pretty heavy. And so then I was in another one. That's when I just let go of all the straws. I was like, all right, then we're going in. I'm going in. I'm going to do all the therapies, all the healing, all the counseling. Sign me up for everything. I want to do it all. And I was in that stage of my life. And she calls and says, do you want to come to Australia and work for us? And in that moment, I got this huge rush over my whole body that felt so alive and lifted. It was a full body yes, like, oh, that's what I gotta do.
Yeah.
And I said to her, yeah. I remember I was sitting in my basement with probably a neck brace on by myself, depressed for months, like, and all of a sudden I was like, yeah, I'll do it. But I said to her, I was like in this accident and I'm still recovering. It's going to be another 6 to 9 months before I'm like able to get on a plane and actually like control my bags, like carry my bags with my arms.
Right.
And so she's like, all right. So it took me 9 months. And then that's when I went out. And it took me another year of recovery while I was in Australia. But that was my journey that got me there.
Wow. I picture you like Charlie Bucket's grandpa, you know, he's like laying in Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. No?
Oh, the grandpa. What happens?
He's like laying in bed and he gets the golden ticket and he just like springs out of bed.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he's
that's
been
it.
bedridden for like a year or something.
Oh, that's the best.
And he just like springs out of bed and he's
Love
like, we're
that.
going to the Chocolate Factory.
It's like that.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Oh, that's so exciting. And then you were there for
8 years.
holy.
Wow.
That's so wild.
Yeah, I know.
Especially when it's your adult years because like that's, you know, like
My almost my entire 30s.
Yeah.
Pretty much I went there right after I turned 30 and then I came back 39.
wow. Yeah, it was like a decade.
Almost.
So
8,
crazy.
8 to 9
Okay,
years.
so while you were there, you started working with them and then you kept working with them? You did a bunch of different things there.
No, I did so many
We were
different
just seeing you
things
from afar, being
from
like,
afar. So I started
she's
working for them.
controlling the ocean right now.
Just Moana singing with the ocean.
Exactly.
No. I started off as a property manager managing share houses,
Okay.
which means like you're working with travelers or international students or people who are looking just to rent a room in a shared house.
So fun.
And so I managed 3 different houses. 2 of them had like 10 rooms each. Like they're big
Wow.
Queenslanders, so it's like 2 houses on top of each other in a sense.
It's wild.
And then there was like a little small one, and I did that for a couple years, and so they were gonna sponsor me. That's why I went out there, and I didn't make all the right decisions, which is a part of learning in life.
100%, especially when you're traveling, you're in a different country.
Like from the get-go,
You
they
don't
were
know the
gonna sponsor
rules.
me before I even got in the country, and had I said yes, would have been a whole, like, I don't know, this, we'd have to do this overseas probably, this little talk right now, because I'd probably be there still.
Yeah.
But I was like too, I don't know, kind, innocent, honest in a sense to myself and to others, that when she was like, we'll sponsor you, from Canada, we'll get you on a sponsorship, we'll sponsor you so you can come and stay in the country and become a permanent
It's like a
resident.
Work visa?
Oh,
it's like
they
citizenship.
sponsor you to be a citizen.
Wow.
They were going to sponsor me right off the top. And I said, well, wait a minute. What if I don't like the job? What if you don't like me in the job? Like, what if the job just doesn't click?
Yeah.
Because property management is like huge turn for me, for the person I am. If the listeners could see me now, they're like, I don't see you in anything like property management, business, accounting. That's not me.
Yeah.
Although those are great. I wish I had those skills.
Yeah.
But so I was like, I told my dad, and he kind of was like, property management, you?
Are you
and
sure?
I was like, Dad, I got this. I was like, I don't have to do it. I just make the calls to the maintenance people. I just make the calls.
You're not the one cleaning the house.
No, I just have to like organize all the things, get all the people in place to do the things.
Yeah.
So I went, and so that's why in the beginning it was like a little shifty in the sense, like they were like, come out, we'll sponsor, like come out, we'll get you on a couple month visa,
Work visa,
try it out. And I couldn't get a work visa. I wasn't eligible
Oh.
based on my age, because at the time you had to be like 30, turning 31 was the cutoff point for a working holiday visa, and I was 30, 31.
Oh my gosh.
So I couldn't go for that again. And I already did one working holiday visa, and in order to stay for a second year on the working holiday visa, you had to have done agricultural farm work or some sort of work where you give back to the land.
Okay.
And I didn't do it because I thought to myself, there's a whole big world out there.
I'm not gonna.
I had a whole year in Australia.
Like,
I'm great with Australia.
gardening
We
thing
had a-
is one thing, but
At the time, I also was like, no, I don't want to be like picking bananas.
farmer,
Now I'm
yeah.
a different person.
Yeah,
Maybe
you're
I
like,
would.
now you would love
I
it.
probably loved it.
yeah, it would be like therapeutic.
Yeah, but at the time I was like, nah, I'm enjoying
Too
my
hyper,
life, and
I wanna
I got a
go.
solid year here. I don't need to go back to Australia.
Right.
And then here I am, like coming back to Australia, and so after working for them for a year or two, they decided they want to change direction with their business, and they weren't going to sponsor me.
Oh no.
And by that point, I was like, well, I like it here, and I kind of like the way my life is shaping up. So I'm going to do whatever
made
I can
friends
to
and-
stay.
yeah.
That doesn't rely on anything outside of me. Doesn't rely on a job. Doesn't rely on a person. Just me. So that meant I had to go to school and study. It only relies on me.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
so I studied, and then I started
You became
taking.
like a student.
I was a student for 7 of those 8 years, or
What?
6.5 to 6.5, probably, almost
I
7.
remember a couple times, like, you were coming home to visit your family, and I do
Yeah.
remember us talking, and I thought you were saying, like, you were being like a Don, like, taking care of university students? Like you're living in a dormitory and you're taking care of like the students.
Oh, well.
I mean, if you're registered
No,
as a student.
that was the property management job.
Oh, okay.
Like I got people rooms, I helped set them up, and if I was already living there and situated, I'd help them make their way in the community.
For sure. Yeah.
But I didn't actually help the students in anything student related.
Okay.
I was a student myself the whole time.
Wild.
Pretty
That's
much.
So
So I had to
awesome.
study.
What did you study?
So in the beginning, my mindset was, I don't actually want to be here to be a legit student. So I want to take whatever's the easiest to take that doesn't involve my whole capacity. Like I could almost just do it with one eye open and just like, that'll do.
Yeah.
So I took like
basket weaving.
No, I wasn't allowed. I would have loved basket weaving. Are you serious? That would have been so good. I still want to learn that.
Me too.
So let's do it.
Okay.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
No, I took diplomas in business, leadership and management. There's like advanced business diploma.
I would give a limb to take that education right now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I would kill. I had a 4-year BA in linguistics.
Yeah, but a BA is way bigger than a diploma.
It doesn't matter. I would kill for business skills like that. That's amazing.
I think you already have them. Like,
well, now I'm learning them, but I'm doing it at, like from
ability.
YouTube. I'm going to YouTube University.
Hey man, I think that's good enough. Legit.
Oh my God. That's so awesome.
Look at you,
though.
what you've created.
That.
You're already like dominating in the business world. You're
I'm
great.
Trying to learn, but I would have loved an education in it. That's great.
It wasn't a good education, but it wasn't that good. I'm not gonna like go off saying I don't want to I don't want to mislead anybody that I'm like really good in business because I took like 5 business diplomas.
Yeah.
But
it's wild.
It was also
good for you.
Somewhat of a immigration tool.
Yeah.
So you're not learning all the best stuff. It's a bit of fillers and a bit of nonsense and jargon that some of the stuff I was like, ugh. I would show my roommates and be like, look at this assignment. And they're like, I
can't help you.
And I'd be like, can you please? It was really hard for me to get through some of it.
Yeah.
But I made it. I managed.
That's amazing.
And then it wasn't until the end, and if I'm talking too much about this, you just let me know.
No.
But it wasn't until like maybe 3 years in that I was like, all right. After like 3 diplomas, I was like, okay, I need to start taking something that I actually like. And that's going to be like something close to me, like that I actually am. Yeah. And I couldn't, in case you're wondering, why didn't I just take something I like from the beginning? Is because in the area I was in, there was only so many programs that were offered that could be approved by immigration.
Oh my
So you can't just take any course you want. It's got to be approved by the immigration office. So in international students, there's a list.
Yeah.
Just that list.
I know. I'm getting to know this now, especially in Canada, because my secretary she's immigrated to Canada and she's taking an education program. And every day she's got some new stipulation that she didn't realize that she had signed up for. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they do have like a hand in kind of, and it makes sense. They kind of want to steer their immigrants to like a specific field, right? Like they don't, they probably need more people that are
too.
blah, blah, blah.
There's that too, which I didn't really clue into until it was almost too late for me to clue into, that if I adjusted a skill on their skilled set list, that gets you a faster in and doesn't depend on others. Had I taken one of those skills,
like electrician or something,
yeah. Even one of them, I think,
bananas
was
or
early childhood education. Like that was one. I think I can't remember what the other ones were, but they were mostly trades, like trade jobs.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until after those years that I was like, I need to take something closer to me. So I just looked up every school in Cairns, in the area I was. And then I found one that was just opened a yoga program. Amazing. A 1-year yoga teacher diploma to learn for a whole year. And then another one was 2 years of learning remedial massage.
Amazing.
Which is like how to remedy injuries and issues with your body. Like you remedy the thing. So it's like a remedy massage, remedial massage.
Okay.
It's quite in depth.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right,
this was made for me.
This is made for me.
You got that like vision of the blonde lady in the gym. You're like,
oh, here we go.
This is what we're doing. Finally.
Yeah. And
amazing.
The massage, my mom, she was like, she worked at the hospital as an X-ray technician and then went into mammography. So she already was in the world of the body and the health and the healing of the body. She's very much like that already.
Yeah.
And my mom, anytime we said we had any issue, any ailment, any whatever, immediately she'd be like, what is it, your neck? Let me see. And she'd get in there and start rubbing my neck. And she was hard. Like, she'd get in really deep. Or if it was like, you felt like a sore throat, here, let me see. And she'd open up a drawer, you know.
Bunch of stuff.
And it was like, and it was all more natural stuff as well.
Yeah.
So I was already like tipped into that world. And I already was like, oh my, you know, learning from my mom, this is what she did for me. And this is what really helped. And she knew about the body because she knew about an x-ray. You have to know about the body.
Yeah.
So when the massage thing came, I thought to myself, yeah, you know what? I think I could be good at this. Because I learned from my mom, and when I do it to other people, they'd be like, oh, yeah, Elysha, that's the spot. And I'd be like, all right, yeah. And I just loved getting into the pain to help release it. It just felt so good for me. So I was like, all right, here we go. I guess we're doing this.
Yeah.
Guess we're stepping in now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a year?
So it was 2 years in massage, 1 year yoga.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And coming out of that, did you feel like you were like, yep, this is my purpose?
Definitely like contributing to the, you know, pool of purpose for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Amazing.
Definitely part of it. I was like, yeah, all right. Okay. I see you now. Thanks, I guess.
Yeah.
Here I am.
So now back in Canada, you are back to practicing you're teaching yoga and you are running your own massage practice. And how do you feel doing it back in Canada, being back home?
It's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
It is good, and I do think it is meant to be at this time. Like, you know, when it all happened the way it happened, I was like, yeah, I can see how this is the time for me to now go home. This is the time for me to spend some more time with my parents, my family. You know, they're aging, you know, and this, my nieces were growing up not knowing me. Like, first it was me not knowing them, and that was sad. But then it was even sadder when I was like, now they don't even know me. I'm just a visitor they see every other year for like a couple weeks. So I was like, this will be good. This will be good for me to come and do this. It's a shift, and maybe it's another little stepping stone. So I was like, yeah, all right. But of course I have my moments where it's like, you know, I miss the life I had and what I was creating for myself and with others.
Yeah.
But coming back to Canada, there was a level of relief that, and like a huge weight lifted, because I'm a citizen here that I can just, if I want to start a business, I can. Whereas over there, I couldn't. I had regulations, I had rules, stipulations, I had stuff I had to do all the time that I wasn't just a free person to be like, let me see what I can create here. I did my best with everything on the side of what I had to do.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think that's something that a lot of people don't know about. Like, we feel like we can just, oh yeah, one day I'm going to go to this and I can go do this. And you think you can do whatever you want, but there really is a ton of rules when it comes to dealing with other countries and going to different places where it's interesting.
I know. And it has a huge weight on you as well that like people don't realize. It's hard to explain.
It's like our licenses here.
Yeah.
Like, oh, how many more months till I gotta renew my license again? But when it's your, you know, livelihood and when it's your stability and like staying in your home, it's a totally another level. Yeah. So where do you feel like, and because I know definitely like knowing you before and then knowing you after. I mean, you said that you had kind of those connections with your mom's experience with the biological part, but I feel anyways, as being friends with you, that like this spiritual, energetic part is like such a big part of who you are. And I think we both had the same experience in terms of our spirituality, coming from like a Catholic, you know, going to church, and like that was our understanding of like what faith in God looked like. And now, you know, fast forward to now. So how do you interpret kind of what you were learning on a very like scientific biological level to how you reintroduced your spirituality?
Okay, wait, what?
How do you identify your spirituality today?
Yeah, as opposed to what we came with, like what we're with.
I just feel like there was a big change in you from like, you know, when we knew you before, you being off on your own for all those years, and then coming home, your spiritual energy feels completely different.
Oh yeah, it's nice to know what people see and observe on the outside. I like that.
Yeah,
I think it just gave me more permission to explore these things that I was interested in. And that brought me into alignment of embodying more of who I am.
Right.
And so I think it's like just following that alive pulse within the self, you know, like growing up being Catholic and whatever else. I mean, that was all cool. And there's an element of spirituality, of course, in that.
Yeah.
There definitely is. And it's beautiful to have stuff to believe in. It's beautiful to have these like certain things that help, you know, guide us of how to be a decent human and whatever. But there's other elements to it that I was just a little checked out. Like, you know?
Yeah.
And then once I came into, you know, the whole other world and ways of spirituality and the way people can be, you know, what was like for us, it was like religious. Religious is to be spiritual, is to be religious.
Yeah.
But there's a whole other way to being spiritual, or what we thought was religious, which could be with, you know, the relationship that you have to like food, or to the way you breathe, or to the way you connect with people. Whereas to ours was like you had to like worship some sort of God in some sort of church, and you know, and whatever.
The Bible.
The Bible.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that helped me a lot. I think it was just permission for me to just continue to follow my heart, and then it shaped me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like you've touched on a good point, which is just the exploration. And I really think traveling helps you do that for multiple reasons. Like one, if you are on your own, then you don't really have anyone to answer to. So you're not like, yeah, you're saying permission from yourself, but really it is kind of like a release from anybody else's. I don't even want to make it sound bad. I know we're both very respectful of like our parents and our upbringing 100%. And the fact that they even like cared enough to bring us to an institution.
I know.
Was great.
Yeah.
At least that we opened our mind to there is something bigger. It's out there. It's powerful. It loves us, you know? Like they might have had a different language about it. But then when you start traveling and you see how other people are doing it, like you said, like I thought a big connection. Yeah. Just a connection to the land. I felt like our Catholicism, it's not like it just wasn't talked about. It wasn't in the literature.
Oh my God. Especially in this, like, I don't know, part of the world.
Yeah.
Maybe because we're not as tropical. Maybe when you're tropical, you're outside more, your hands are in the earth more, your feet are on the earth more. And that, I don't know, that might just be one part of it.
No, yeah.
But it's true. When I was in Australia, so many people were about the land. Whereas here, we're more about, like, what's in the media.
Yeah. Maybe we have a disconnect from the land because like we're not indigenous, right? We're all immigrants technically, like from
maybe that's it
from somewhere else.
That's
so
it too,
maybe in our culture it's not really talked about because we were taken away from our land and we came on boats, and now like 3 generations have just been here. All we brought was the book. We're walking around with this book being like, I got all the answers in this book, you know?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, I even find when it's just a city thing. When you go up to the north, like the people that are there are a lot more connected with the land
true.
too. And like their job
Mm.
isn't as important, and their phones aren't as important, and like they're worried about like what's in season right now, like when can we go fishing and stuff like that, and like they're outside a lot more. It's we do get kind of just stuck inside in the cities, and that's politics and blah blah blah. Yeah,
but maybe because they have more land. It's more spacious. It's less distractions.
Yes.
You know, less things to consume, and so they have time to connect with the land. It's true. Yeah.
Outside. Yeah. I still don't think it's like necessarily in their discussions about spirituality though. Like it does take a connected community talking about their. What was the word we talked about the other day? Is it zeitgeist?
Yeah.
I always say it wrong. Zeitgeist. It's just like your belief system, right? So I think maybe you were also tapping into some communities and connections. You can speak to this if you want, but you were tapping into communities when you were living there it was part of their language to talk about their connection and their spirituality with the land, each other, and like, you know, everything around them.
That's exactly it. It was part of the language. Whereas ours, it maybe wasn't as on the top of the things that people talk about. It maybe was like 10th or 20th, whereas over there it might be one of the top 5 things they talk about.
Yeah.
So you're right. It wasn't really,
Yeah, it's in like the language and the verbiage. That's and I was just thinking like, you know, were there certain places that we talk about this a lot, but like, is there certain places that you felt more spiritually connected, like in your traveling?
Well, just more recently, I'm starting to believe that it can be different for everyone, that place. But I think there are general places, like for instance, Indonesia and Bali. Have you ever been to Bali?
No.
Oh my God.
It's on my list.
Everything, their whole way of living is like living in ceremony.
Cool.
Everything is like a sacred ceremony.
Huh.
And when there's a huge ceremony, it's not just in their house or like their whatever. The whole street is decorated. The whole like pathway in the vicinity is decorated to the nines with like flowers or I don't know, just it's so beautiful that one day you just wake up and all of a sudden the street is just so decorated. You're like, wow. And they're like, oh yeah, there's like a wedding down the street. And I'm like, oh, or there's some like spiritual day that they're celebrating someone they cherish, some god, some figure, something like that.
Okay.
But this way of like all of life over there for them is like a ceremony with not even just people and the way you like, relationship things. It's like, it's a ceremony with the way that they maybe eat their food. It's, it's really like so spiritual.
I love things like that are like, I'm really focusing in on my business of just like what routine and tradition, how much that brings a spirit to a community, like how much that, being in celebration. I feel like as soon as like people get together and they have this notion of celebration, I think it like creates that spirit. It's like the interaction that people are having amongst each other, right?
Yeah, it's basically togetherness, celebration.
Yeah,
is what the
that
pathway to
spirit.
create all that. Just what you said.
Yeah. Yeah. We always talk about just like, visiting other places and like, having like a feeling like you'll just like walk into some places. I always get this with churches. Like whenever I walk into churches and
do you get emotional?
It depends on like what it is, it's wild that like some churches you feel like this like doom and gloom feeling, like dark and scary and like gothic-y. And then some you feel like uplifted and like, and maybe it's just like a decoration trend, right? It was just like their building situation, like how they build. Yeah. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's like a history or a story.
What happened there, like what's lived there, the energy and the entities.
Yeah, for sure.
True. I feel you on that, actually. It's very true.
Yeah.
I
you
felt
don't know
that
if it's just like,
into
it's
some
painted
places
kind of weird, or
like,
it's
whoa.
like, ooh.
And I think that's definitely like good for us to be listening to. I think that's a big part of this whole life journey is to like listen to those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, just checking in with them. And I think that's a big special part of traveling too, just to give yourself time. Like we talk about all the time with the kids. We're like, I just need like time to check in with myself. Yeah. And you're walking around, you're seeing things, but really what you're doing is you're relating. Because you're just like, how does this make me feel? And how does it make you feel?
Yeah, I know. I love talking about feelings.
Yeah. But we always say it, because I'll say to him, I'm just like, oh, do you feel that? And he's like, what? And I'm like, I'm gonna faint or throw up. Like something is wild here.
Yeah,
it's intense.
Yeah. Wow.
I feel like I never get like really big like mental changes, anything drastic, but I do totally agree. Like looking at the art in a church and just the whole composition of it gives you this crazy feeling. And I loved like walking around the ancient sites, and maybe it's just because you're thinking of like 3,000 years ago, there was this completely different group of people that was like, this was their house and they were living here. And maybe it's something like that. But
you're trying to feel with your brain.
Maybe.
But I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm trying to feel with everything else.
Because of the history could be lingering. Yeah, in there. Yeah. So, what places for you guys? Is there specific places that have stood out?
Again, I can usually just, decide, like, if when I look back in memory, I'm like, okay, it's usually like a church. But, sometimes it's even just like restaurants or stores that I've walked into and I'm like, oh, I'm going to faint right now. Like, I don't know what it is, but it just feels like the energy is so wild and powerful. Aside from that.
Crystal shops.
Crystal shops. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm on the ground. Like, I'm laid out on the ground.
And I think some people are more susceptible to feeling that, because there are times when I'm in there and I'm totally fine. I don't even feel anything.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't get anything
it's
crazy.
like, we each have our own gifts where we can sense the things, and maybe that's like one of your big ones.
Yeah, it's wild. I can't stand up in them. I have to sit down.
Energy is strong.
Yeah.
I've been places before and just in life where I was like, oh God, why do I feel like I'm gonna pass out?
Or it's really bad. And I know, again, I hate throwing them under the bus because it can just be like the imagery and like the art and stuff. But yeah, going into Catholic churches.
Yeah.
It's some dark, heavy, weird feelings.
Sometimes for you, yeah.
And it might just be like, again, your mind starts to like interact like that, where it's like,
all the vivid depictions of crucifying Jesus.
Something like
on
that.
On stained glass windows. I used to stare at them for like the whole time, pretty much, just staring. Or I'd stare at the woodwork. I actually was always staring at the woodwork. They did really good woodwork.
Oh
my God, I was always looking and being like, wow, this is so great.
Yeah. I actually did feel that in, we just were in Montreal in Notre Dame. And that church, I was just like, I am so excited. But again, you wonder if it's the decor. Yeah. It's just like, there's lots of times where you just look at something and you're like, oh, I like this painting. It's nice,
Maybe too, it was built with the intention to be a place of worship. And so there's the extra energy to it to have that wow factor for people,
Yeah, you assume everyone's going in there and praying and like filling it with their their intentions and their motivations and their, aspirations. Yeah. So I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. Just speaking of like intentions on how do you, while traveling, I guess, or now that you're back here, what's your usual practice, I guess, in terms of like setting intentions? How do you pray?
How do I pray? Well, first I gotta lay down. I'm just joking. Close my eyes, and then it's the morning. No, I'm just joking. I'm totally joking. Oh wow. Well, I will say it does change. Like I don't often have the exact same daily practice every day, which is not ideal. It's really good to have like a really committed daily practice. And I will stay in one for like good chunks of time, but somehow something happens in life and I won't do it for a moment, and then I shift and then I recreate it in some other form that suits me at that time. Do you know what I mean?
I love that.
So
can you give us like more specifics?
Yeah. Like, well, there was a time when I got really into Kundalini yoga. Okay. Have you guys heard of it?
Yeah.
I've heard of that, yeah.
Yeah. It's super cool. It actually was like, I first got into it when I first moved to Australia, that time after those accidents. And I had a lot of healing to do. And I had a bunch of trauma from those experiences. And the Kundalini yoga was like what saved me, I would say. The thing that really helped get me over the edge,
Amazing.
Like get me back into good standing. Because it was a combination of chanting, combination of like slight movements and gestures with the body, and then it was breathing as well. And there was something in the whole like sequence that I just was like, I loved it so much, because it kind of touches on all the elements that you want to connect with, like the mind, the heart, the soul, like the womb, the everything kind of gets connected into this and activated, and it like awakens your life force energy and your Kundalini energy.
Right.
And
there's a lot of education involved too.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. And that's what I also kind of liked about it, because I was like, oh, this is cool. I got to like close my eye, but focus my attention to the middle, but put the tongue on the roof of my mouth, and then put my index finger, my thumb together. And then I got to go like this. And then once I'm done that, I got to put my hand over my head. It's like, whoa, okay, what is all this? Yeah. And then I walk out and I'm like, oh, I feel good. That was so great.
Was it with the teacher there?
And that was with the teacher. And I did that for years. And once I did that, I was like, I'm going to step into doing it every day. And I did it every day for like 90 days.
Amazing.
An hour practice on my own in my room, chanting, singing, humming, making the sounds, doing the eye
probably
things.
Thought you were nuts.
I had moments. I had to overcome that. I was like, they're going to think I'm crazy.
Yeah.
But then I was like, you know what? Screw it.
That's also
just
powerful.
Do it. Just do it anyways. And if anyone asks, what I always find too is if you just give someone something to understand, they will. So if I just walk out and was like, I'm doing this Kundalini thing, and that's what it is, you sing and you chant. All right, cool. Well, have a great day. Go on. They're like, oh, all right. But still, inside myself, I had to get over the fact that like, are they going to hear me chanting in my room? But I did it.
Yeah.
So that was one phase. And then after that, it was like, I just had my own 5-minute morning meditation that I did.
Nice.
Did that for a while. And then it shifted. I think I was in massage, then I just changed. And I don't even know what it was. Maybe it was just a little bit of stretching. So it always changes my little daily practice kind of thing that I do. Yeah. But I would say the main thing is I always try to like have moments in the day where I just do some positive affirmation thinking, like work on my mindset.
Yeah, we were talking about that before the episode, and I think before the show, and I think it's so powerful. I think the more I get into, I guess just maybe the more you age, the older you get, you're kind of, it sounds morbid, but you're taking those steps towards the end part as opposed to coming from the beginning, and you start to realize at like a specific age that you're like, this is all I got, my mind is all that I have to take with me, so I have to really make sure that I'm protecting it and I'm keeping it in a really great space, because it is easy to go to those not great places.
Yeah. What about you? Do you have like a daily practice or like intentions?
Well, now I get up and drive the kids to school and go to the gym every day. But that's
great.
only
Yeah,
that's only been within 2 months. But I think it's getting yourself moving every day, I think, is so important. Right?
Yes. And walking is a huge one. I love walking and listening to music, or even just,
it's so meditative.
Whatever. Walking is meditation for sure.
I think same thing. I came from the same background, coming from like a dance background and continuing it now in the dance studio. I think it's a really special, if you give yourself that gift of like, if I could choose anything, that's what I would do. I don't know if I would give myself that, is to just like come home and put music on and go dance for 30 minutes a day, I think would be the best.
That would be.
Yeah.
It's so healing.
I know. Why don't we do it?
So much. I know. And I have those intentions to do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, we know all the tools to live the best life and have the happiest, healthiest spirit and whatever.
Yeah.
And yet, like, I don't come home and just play music every day, and I wish I did.
Yeah.
I really do.
I think that's why we, typically in yoga, we say it's a practice, right? Because we're practicing on, trying to introduce stuff and make it stick and get better.
Yeah.
You kind of said, I think it would be good to have like a specific daily routine, but I think you're growing and changing. So I think you rotate through things, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Whatever's serving you at the time.
Yeah. What about you, Jay? Because I always see you playing instruments and stuff, and it just looks so like that, so meditative and connective.
It totally is. As soon as I take the time to do it. Yeah, same thing.
Or drawing. Even drawing is a huge
drawing is 100% a meditation for me. It like zones me right into a completely different place. I love it. But yeah, I know. I kind of wish I had a daily practice too. I'm just a terrible morning person, and that is the hardest thing for me, just to get my body and mind into some kind of functional space. So.
I hear you. Well, though, it doesn't have to be morning. You create it. You can make it a nighttime. Because when I did that Kundalini at the time, I also not the best morning person. Like if I'm up in the morning, I am a good person, but I prefer to sleep in. If I cannot be up, that's great for me.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I did mine at night. I would do it at like 10 p.m.
Holy.
And then I would do it for an hour, and then I get ready for bed, and I'm like, okay.
It's kind of a nice like before bed routine, right?
Well, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, so I kind of wanted to do some like debunking too, because I feel like this a lot. I'm teaching yoga at a gym. And I think it's like it's just like a different mentality. They're doing it as like a sport. They're doing it as like a fitness routine. So yeah, can you kind of speak to, you've taught in different places and like different like environments. So can you kind of talk to the difference between, having a yoga practice that is so rooted in spirituality and energy, and it being just, the physical body?
Yeah, I know. It really is a thing. I'm glad you said that, because I thought about it, but yeah, for someone else to recognize it too. There was a time.
It's at a gym. They're like, where's the push-ups? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's yoga.
And if it's yoga too, like, of course, it never has to be one way. So I can totally be challenged on what I'm about to say. But when I was trained with having all the materials. You have 2 blocks, you have a strap, you got your bolster, and you have the weighted blanket.
Okay.
And my teacher who taught me, she included the elements of spirituality and like really slowing it down.
Yeah.
So when I was at gyms sometimes thinking, maybe I'll teach yoga here, and I'd look and I'd be like, they don't have enough blocks for everybody. And I teach with the blocks sometimes so that people have more range of motion in their movements. They don't have to be clunky about it. They can be smooth.
Right. They're just hanging in the air,
Yeah.
like with their back out of alignment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, I noticed that. I'm like, oh God. So a part of me was like, just going where I knew there was space for me to bring that element of spirituality.
Yeah.
Another part of me is just was like sometimes takes on the challenge of like, how can I just bring it into this space that isn't spiritual at all? Mm-hmm. And if I do it with enough like I don't know, let's say the word devotion, or enough like embodiment within myself, and I don't flinch, then I hope that other people will be like, okay, I guess we're gonna sit like this for a minute. With just our hands in prayer pose. And I'm like, what? I thought we were moving. Yeah. And I actually, my teacher trained me that Shavasana should always be 10 minutes at the very end.
Holy
huge.
cow.
Always 10. Do never jip that.
Yeah.
And I also put breathing in mind. But when I take other people's classes sometimes, we don't sit and breathe very much. It's just, they get you on the breath and then we get moving.
Yeah.
I always have time where you sit and breathe for a couple minutes at least. Mm-hmm. And then at the end, I try to do 10. Sometimes it's 8. But I try to get 10 minutes of Shavasana at the very end. Yeah. So I just try to bring it wherever I am. Yeah. Even though I know it's not there. Or if it's not there, I'm now, as I get older. So before I used to be the person that would go into this space and want to help it and be there for that and like try to integrate it. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going, if it's not there, I don't need to be there. I'm going to go where I can be that. Yeah. Which I don't know is the right answer or not. No,
but it's whatever you feel as a practitioner, right? Yeah. I was curious how you were kind of handling that in other environments. Because, I really do. It has, me too. I've had to like advocate for myself and almost defend my credentials. Yeah. I'm like, I know that you went to Power Iron Yoga at your other place and she had you doing 50,000 sit-ups, but that's not how I teach. Yeah. Yeah. And if you want that, you can go to like a weight training class, Yeah, I know. This is yoga. You have to focus on your breathing and your spirituality and your meditation. That's why we're trying to quiet the mind. There's no other practice in this gym that does that. Yeah. Everything else is just trying to jack you up.
And when people are just getting so jacked and they don't take time to stretch, then you can't, you're not making more space to grow the muscles. Yeah. You got to like stretch them so that there is more capacity for them to continue to grow, to continue to strengthen, right? So they're missing a whole key element with the stretching.
I know, and they end up with that's when you end up with the injuries, right? Yeah, like the injuries come from, and I still try to teach people as much as I can that like it's about your mind training, right? All these like mindset and intentionality, all that stuff comes from a practice, because otherwise there's nothing else that's supporting it in our society right now. It's go faster, go harder, or go home.
I know. And for those gyms that you're saying, the ones that like sometimes you walk in and you're like, how do you do yoga in this room? Yeah. Maybe it's like, it might not be for me to teach it there, but it might be for someone else. Yeah. Because sometimes there are people who are bodybuilders or personal trainers and they also teach yoga. Yeah. That might be the space for them to do that. Yeah. But maybe not for me.
Yeah, but we have like a bunch of different teachers at our gym and we're all a little different. But I definitely get the pushback of like, I didn't even sweat. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, why are you coming here to sweat?
Yeah, I know.
You're coming here to breathe. Sorry.
I'm like really connecting. I know.
Yeah. So do you want to talk to us about your massage practice?
Yeah, so it's called Body Talk with Elysha, but it's called Body Talk. If you're gonna look it up on, if you're gonna look it up on the socials, it's Body Talk and then _W Elysha. So with Elysha.
Okay. Yeah, we'll add your handles underneath the podcast.
And that's been fun because I have full creative control over it, while I'm still trying to also make sure it's in like a certain look and form, in the marketing world of things, but like when I'm putting it out there into the world. But it's great to know that I'm in a place where it's my own, and so I put out what I offer, and if people feel called, that's great. Yeah. And so I'm enjoying that experience of growing in that way, and it is going good. But to start a massage business in Ontario is a bit tough if you're not registered in the Ontario system. Okay. Because I did my training in Australia. Right. I'm certified to be a registered massage therapist there. Mm-hmm. I did the full, training for that. But over here, I'd have to like see what credits I can transfer. I might have to retake stuff. And then it's like, a bunch of money and tests all over again.
Back to school. And
that's why I hesitated, because I was like, I was just in school for like 7 years, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going back right now.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go on my own and see what I can do,
Yeah.
And there's stipulations. I can't say that I'm a massage therapist. Can't say therapist, or I'll get in trouble.
Okay.
So that's why I just say massage straight up, or body work.
Yeah.
But so I do offer a variety of things within like what I learned in Australia, which is like a combination of what people would know as deep tissue or trigger point therapy. And then I do stuff where I take the body and I use the muscles and do a bit of a dynamic releasing kind of thing, and a passive release and an active release, to try and get into wherever the muscles are super tight to help release them, so that you literally have more range of motion when you come out of the massage.
Amazing.
So if I'm doing like a full remedial massage, it's sometimes like a workout. Not in the sense that it's hard. It's just in the workout, because I'm going to make you move your body a little bit with me, and I move it.
Oh, I thought you meant like
on
a
the
workout
table
for you.
It's a workout for me, but it's like a workout for them, because they have to lay and like endure it.
Right.
But I do a variety. I also do like relaxation as well. And I learned another style, which I haven't brought out yet, but I just want to get a little bit stronger in it before I start offering it. I learned in Australia called Zentai Shiatsu. It was so cool.
Wow.
So that one's really cool. And that one's where you're on the floor on a mat and you're fully clothed. And it's like you use each other's bodies it's like Thai. Thai massages, right? Where you're like, they do stretches and they're sometimes on top of your body or on your back, or they take your leg and they create resistance with each other's bodies. And so it's like that. It's so amazing. It's so relaxing. It's so beautiful. And that one feels quite spiritual as well as feeling like your whole body's just been reset in the best way ever.
Wow.
But that one I need a floor mat and bigger space. So I'm working on it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
Amazing. What's it called again?
That one's called Zentai Shiatsu.
Oh my god.
It's founded in Australia.
Sounds so fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm just so like obsessed now. It might just be like my fixation at the time, but I'm so interested in breath. Do you bring the breath into the massage as well?
Well,
I feel like as a practitioner of yoga, I wouldn't be able to separate the two.
I'm glad you said that, because I do sometimes, but I don't all the time. And I still need to grow. The thing about this whole journey is like, it takes time for me to even discover it and embody it in myself, to offer it into that space, to have the confidence to say, you're paying all this money and I'm going to take a moment where we're going to breathe together. I still have the mentality in my head that like, if people are paying them money, from the minute they're on the table to the minute the hour is up, their body needs to be massaged, like touching.
Yeah.
And if I don't even like to waste too much time if they have to change positions, I try to be quick. I try to think like, if it's more than 10 seconds, I don't want them to think like, why is she out there a minute? I'm paying for this time. Like I kind of have a little bit of that sometimes that plays out.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that they feel that they're getting a good massage the whole time.
Yeah.
But breathing really is a huge part of it. And when I feel like I have a client that comes enough times, like more than 3 or 4 times, they're in the place where we now know each other, that they know the work that's possible in that space, that I can have moments where we will breathe in it to release. We make some deep sighs.
Yeah.
And like, I can even bring my drum out. Like when I bring my drum to a massage with the vibrations, putting that over their body, it just feels so good.
Yeah.
So there is a whole other element to bring into the massage world that I could totally do. I just feel like, because I'm still building mine and I still am trying to build up
trust.
Yeah, a trust and a full clientele.
Yeah.
That I still just kind of have to prove myself in a sense, to be like, yeah, come on in, I'll give you the works. And then and next time it's like, all right, let's try the drum.
Yeah.
I don't want someone to be like, why am I laying here and she's just drumming over my body? It's like, you don't get it yet, but this is good for you.
Yeah, I guess, you just have to bring in the educational part, right? And like make them understand that therapy looks like it comes in a lot of different ways. And I think that's really interesting. It's not uncommon that a yoga practitioner, a teacher, will end up being in like the massage therapy, because I think, or like Reiki, or there's all these like healing arts.
And I offer some energy work as well, which is really great, because people are starting to come in for that, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
And it's just pretty much feels like someone meditating for you.
Yeah.
You don't even have to do
like
the
they're
work.
loving on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's starting to grow, which is great too. But everyone, you know, just to the right moment when someone's ready for it. When they're ready for it, they value it, and then they're like, absolutely, sign me up. Other people.
And I think like going back to that like telepathic, empathic type of personality, you almost can read people's thoughts, because you do. You have. There's lots of times in my life where I'm like, is this just my own fear getting in the way? Is it my own internal voice, or am I picking up on what they're feeling, and I have to like listen to what they're saying so I make them comfortable in the environment, right? So you always kind of are playing with that as being a spiritual healer. Is like you have to find their boundaries and your own boundaries and kind of make those line up, right? So you're not, you know, overstepping. You don't
and
lose
that's
a client.
another thing too. It's a lot of energy.
It's so
People
much
don't
energy.
realize
and
as a massage therapist, it's a lot of energy work. It's a lot of energy for me.
Totally. You're taking on all their crap. Like you're taking it.
You feel it.
You're like, you're definitely like shouldering all the burdens that they come in with if you're really truly empathic. And I think that's typically the personality that wants to heal and wants to help.
That's it. Yeah.
Right? You want to like do good things for people.
That's exactly it. That's what drives me, I would say. Yeah. But you get better with it over time to not like absorb it as much. Yeah. Or at all sometimes.
Or be able to store it somewhere where it makes sense, right? You're like, I am learning from you and your body and your emotion. Yeah. As opposed to like, I'm feeling it. Like, I'm going to go home and cry for you for an hour because you're in this pain or something, right?
Yeah, and sometimes you don't even know you've picked it up.
No.
It takes time to even be able to figure out in yourself, like, oh, this isn't mine. Yeah. This is someone else's.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that a lot with like, you know, the parents at the studio. They're coming in, they're struggling, and I'm not just listening. I'm like taking it. I'm like, this is my pain now. We have to figure this out together. Yeah. That's a lot. It's hard. Okay, I think that's a good time for a break.
Yep.
And we'll be back. Hey everyone, I just wanted to take a second and thank all our listeners for all the love and support. It really does matter that you guys are checking in every week with us and hanging out. We just wanted to thank you guys. And also, if you know someone who's in the yoga space or the massage therapy space, or even just the healing arts, we would love for you to pass this episode along to them. It really does help us keep this commercial free for you guys and keep the art coming. We are back talking to our beautiful friend, Elysha Emrich. She is here talking to us about world traveling, her yoga practice, being a massage practitioner here in Canada, that she's back, and of course, all the different elements that connect with our spirituality. Yeah. So we were talking before the break just about your business that you're starting here. And I just wanted to talk, because this is something, again, near to my heart. But yeah, how are you finding or feeling about building community here? Well, now that you're back.
Well, it is great to be back because there is such a great community here, especially the one you create. You're like such a community person. You really are like a huge... Really great at playing it. You really bring us together.
Yeah, I love it.
For everything.
Yeah, it's so fun,
which is
right?
awesome.
It's that energy of a community that brings
it's
together.
So good. It's so important.
So important.
It's like the pathway to like everything that we kind of seek in life. Yeah. In a way. Not everything, but a lot of it, you know?
Yeah, because it's still just, like, I mean, even if it's about your individual self,
fulfillment, and like we need each other sometimes, right?
Big time.
Like they're not everything that I'm capable of, and sometimes you need community to kind of help us out. And so it's good to create a good community. And so it is great to be back here, and I'm only just starting to get back in because I feel like after being away for 8 years, I was like quite disconnected and out of the loop. And so it's been a bit of a slower, gradual build for me. But luckily you've kept me in because you're always like, Elysha, come to this, do that. I'm like, all right. Yeah. And then building one back up here too, like through the things with the yoga, and I offer like, I'm starting to do like events and things. And so bringing people together, and it's nice to start to see like who's showing up. and who these people are. And so it is great. But it is different, though, from just like having lived overseas as well to the community that I was, a part of over there. So it's an adjustment for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I miss it.
I do for sure, because it's we all kind of are raised with different foundations or different values and different priorities. Like theirs is like you said, people speak with the language with the land. Over here, that it's a different language, so you get different elements out of the community and that connection. So I've noticed the difference, and so it's taking a little more time to kind of bring in. But that's just, I think, the nature of me and my life journey as well.
Yeah.
Some people get in right away and boom, magnetic. Other times it's like, you gradually start to form that beautiful community. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think you are, you're also kind of building it with your business. So how does that feel?
Yeah, it feels great. It's very exciting for me. I really like doing that. But there are times too where I feel like I have a little bit of the imposter syndrome. I'm like, oh my God. But then I come back to being like, no. You just be yourself. Just be who you are. And that's it. And however the rest goes is how it goes. And if people like that, they'll come. And if not, then that's okay. It helps us just know where we're meant to be in life. So yeah, it's been fun and great. But also, again, it takes time sometimes for people to catch on to what everybody has to offer and the magic in that.
Yeah.
So it's a dance.
Yeah, I feel like, exactly. No, it's perfect. I think, just growing different communities, I think is so important. I think it's like an extra, it has an extra layer when it's about your spirituality. And again, we saw that growing up, right? As we mentioned, like we saw what it looked like going to an institution and going to a religious, affiliation, going to a church. But I think it feels the same to me. It feels like the same type of community building when you go to a yoga class or when you go to now we're getting involved in the ecstatic dance program. That's like another community, right? So anytime I think you get together with your friends in those like spiritual ways, I think is so powerful because again, you're just having those conversations, right? So I think that's really important. I just wanted to talk about healing in general. This has been a big, wellness is like a hot button topic, I think right now. People are really, maybe I'm just grossly exaggerating, but I not getting this overwhelming vibe that everyone feels really healthy right now.
Oh yeah. No, it's
not
true.
mentally, not physically.
Oh God.
People
I feel
are running through the
also.
street saying that they feel great.
They're not.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be, in a
if
positive
we're going to be really
way.
honest, I also feel that too.
Okay. I don't know a gentle way of saying it.
The thing is I understand what you're saying and I feel what you've said. Yeah. But every day when I look outside, I don't think that. Yeah. I don't even recognize. But if I'm just going to take a moment to observe what I'm seeing, then I see that. I'm like, because I'm living my life, doing my best to be my healthiest self. Yeah. And so I try my best to just see out of those lens, you know? But I see what you're saying and I see it here also.
The suffering.
I do. And it's in our conditioning potentially with how we think our lives are meant to be run. Our conditioning of how our day and our week is to go and what we're supposed to be doing with our lives.
Yeah.
And all the responsibilities and things, I'm like, oh man, that's a lot.
Yeah.
We really push past our human threshold. We've really pushed past our threshold of the things, our capacity and expectations of the way we were probably meant to be relating in a community to the way we are now.
Yeah, the way we're living our lives.
The expectations are high. Yeah. So healing is pretty essential, but it's going to take time. And I was just listening to my friend leave a voice message today saying that this year, and this is the time where people who are in the world of healing is going to be extra important and even more highlighted now. People are catching on even more and even more. I remember 5-10 years ago, no one talked about astrology. Now it's almost everywhere. Everyone hears about astrology and, what's the moon saying this week and what kind of feelings can we be having?
Yeah, it's exciting.
But it's coming into our awareness and now that's why it's here all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think both are true. Seeing suffrage around you is heavy and it's a lot, but also I think that it makes like our jobs even more essential, and it makes it you feel, you know, even more like you can step into your power and be like, I can change, I can help people, right? I can bring something different to their light and to their energy so that they're understanding. I was just I think it was a comedian actually, and he was basically explaining it as like, it was your expectations and your reality not aligning. That's what he was describing as depression.
Yeah.
He was saying like people's like misunderstanding that they're like, this is how our life should be, and like this is how my life is. It's that distance in between that's like, you know, making you think that you're depressed.
Oh yeah, so you said just lower your expectations. That was
that was the joke. But I mean, lower your expectations of yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Totally.
That's another huge thing. Yes. We all think you have to perform to such standards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, honestly, being able to just breathe and be grateful for what you have is like, that's great. That's good enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I think that in the healing world, in the healing community, like that's where we're going to end up being needed. Yeah. And that's going to end up being our work, is that, you know, you're able to like teach someone how to have those mindsets and teach someone how to, like, again, breathing.
Yeah. And maybe too, like, we're kind of being pushed and forced to the point where we're going to have no choice but to like embrace that world, you know? Because like if we think of all the suffering and the hardships and the like crazy things that are happening out in the world today, it's going to get so hard that like this is going to be the only resort at some point. It's like, okay, I'm going to have to come inside myself now and just try to heal. And like, how can I clean this up based on the things I once thought were what was right in the world?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I think yoga is a really cool opportunity because we do have, you know, these groups of people that are, at least they're coming. I mean, maybe they're looking for push-ups, but, you know, if they come for push-ups and they end up with like mind stability, you know, what a gift.
Well, once in a while,
better.
You know how you talked about that feeling? So once in a while, I'll teach a yoga class and I'll walk out and I'll be like, yeah, that was good. It was just good.
Yeah.
It was good enough.
Yeah.
And then there are times where I'm in it and all of a sudden I feel like everybody is catching this moment.
Yeah.
We are all catching it and we're all feeling moved.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I like to try and teach a class where I use like the right songs, the right movements to try and get you to feel like you're moved. Like you're all of a sudden in like watching a movie clip of an amazing scene that's like boom.
Yeah.
But we're that scene.
We're the scene.
We're the scene.
Yeah.
And then people will walk out and they'll all be like, whoa, that was so good. And when you did that one thing and I was like, I got goosebumps at that one. I knew it. We were all in it. We were in the pocket, you know?
Yeah, I felt it.
It's just like, you know, doing it enough to catch people, to catch it in the moment in the pocket.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I think it does come back to that community, right? Where it's like, you know, if it was just me in the room by myself, would I have this experience? Or is it that like everyone's here with me and they're feeling it?
Oh, you just brought up a huge point. Because sometimes I notice when I have like a certain number of people in the class, and it might be different people's purpose as well. Like when I have more people in the class, I can feel that pocket energy a lot faster and stronger.
Yeah.
I actually can feel like I'm making a difference. But sometimes when it's just a couple of us, it's dwindling. People, you know, it's not like sometimes, I can.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that when I have a fuller class, I get that more. I can feel I'm reaching more people and people are being moved to want to connect and to believe and to embody, and then they walk out being like, yeah, that's why I came. This is why I signed up.
With like dancing, I always feel like there just has to be the right amount of people. Even if you go to like a giant concert, you'll end up in an area where people are just standing around and watching, and then you feel like, oh no, I want to dance, but then like you'll go to some other section and then all the people in that
going
section
crazy
are doing their own thing, and then it's amazing. But when you're like stuck in that spot and you're like, oh, I feel like dancing, but everyone around you just has their arms crossed or something, it's a totally different vibe where you're listening to the exact same music and you just go somewhere else where everyone else is into it. That energy just kind of flows.
Yeah, it's like
know
the
what you
power
mean.
and the connection.
Power of the people,
power of the people.
It's so true. But I will say, I had a phase where I recognized that at one point in my life, and I thought, all right, I'm gonna be the one that fucking changes it. So that changes it.
Yeah.
And so when I would go somewhere, if I was genuinely feeling the music, or if it was a live band and everyone's standing, I saw an open floor. For me, I actually was more excited. I was like, I am going to take this
start
floor
the party.
and I'm going to go and I'm going to dance on the whole thing. I'm going to take up all this space and just bring the energy, be the energy. And eventually it would be like one person would catch on and come in and I loved being that person doing that thing. Yeah. But sometimes, again, I am still the one that's like stuck on the side standing because I'm like, oh my God.
Who's going to dance first?
Sometimes you're tired, whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, it's very much like that, like you said.
I have that in our dance classes too. Yeah. Like the more kids, the more energy. It's so fun. Yeah. I think that just comes down to us being social. And again, it comes back to the fact that like we have this opportunity, right? Like we're at this time in Canada and our society, whatever, where we are right now, where people are feeling like disconnected. And I feel like that could be, there's a plethora of reasons. Roll out the list of why people are unwell right now. But it can be that disconnect, right? I feel like you go, again, let's bring back the traveling where we've been to countries, I know you have too, where they're third world. They don't have a pot to piss in. And they are dancing their hearts out in the streets.
They're so fucking happy.
So yeah, it's not, I don't think it's about... Yeah, I don't even think it's necessarily your physical body health. It's your mental health that people are feeling disconnected. Mm-hmm. So because of what happened with COVID and, pushing us in different corners and also our screens, I think are contributing to like that disconnect. It's an artificial connection.
Yeah, I know.
I think that really I think we have such an incredible opportunity to like bring people together in community and connection and positive energy that can make like a huge difference on their healing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so true. So interesting when you brought up that point about how, you go to different countries and you see what they live with, but then you see their spirit and how they carry themselves through the day and how they connect with other people around them. And it's just like, it's so like electric and warming and uplifting and like, oh my God, wow. And it's so cool. And that's one of the reasons why I like to travel and like go to different places. And over here, there was, just actually in the last couple of months, I was like internally reflecting with myself too about how I was going through a moment of feeling like I was comfortable with the discomfort. To feel that discomfort and the disconnect. It's like you're comfortable in the discomfort. And that might be a part of what's also happening with people. And also because we go through winters that are like real winter. Yeah. And so we have to hibernating. Yeah. That it's like we actually somehow learned now how to be comfortable in the discomfort.
Solitude.
And then kind of numb out. Yeah. And then we go into like autopilots.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'm just going to like continue to watch Netflix or Crave or Prime or Disney Plus. Yeah. And like, what else is there? And then you're just comfortable in the discomfort of like, this is your minimum living life. Here I am.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, maybe. And then the spring, then you're just like, rebirth.
It's true. It's true.
It feels so good. I kind of wanted to get your insight on this because I know I get a lot now, especially with me traveling with the family and traveling in a, I don't know another word for it, but like on the internet way, we're showcasing a lot of like what we're doing in our traveling. And I get a lot of questions of like people, interested. I can tell, they like the idea of it, but they either think, they can't afford it or they think, it's too scary. They're intimidated. What advice do you have for people that are looking to travel?
I would say, well, it's all the stories we tell ourselves. So if you want to live by your excuses, but there's like a quote I heard about excuses and I wish I could remember it in this moment. It was so good. But I would say anything that you actually want is just on the other side of doubt and fear, Yeah. And that it's only just a made up story that's set there for you to overcome. So enough is enough and just go for it. Yeah. Just go for it. If it's in your thought process on repeat several times, something you think you want to be doing, but you're still not actually doing it out in the world, it's just only living in your head. Yeah. Then it's something that's coming up that's within your values or your foundations of what like you believe in or you want or you desire or as part of your purpose to fulfill or something you need to learn. So you've gotta like let it out and live it because we're meant to be living in this life, Mm-hmm. And so it's like anything we want is just on that other side, just to step through. And it's really not as bad as we might think something is on the side of like we haven't done it yet, but we want to do it. Mm-hmm. once you're there, you realize it's like not even half of the problems you thought it would be. It's not even half of the hardships. And the money's worth it. And you'll always figure out a way.
Yeah.
You're always going to figure out a way.
Yeah. Yeah. And it does change your life. Like,
right. The lessons are huge. And like the experience.
Yeah. The experience is
more,
humongous. I know. I usually say the same thing. I'm like, I don't know. Just do it. Unless it's Cuba, don't go there right now.
What's happening in Cuba? I don't even know.
Really?
I don't really pay attention to the news often.
Me neither. I'm always like one who has no idea what's going on.
I get the news from my friends.
You know about that. That's recent.
I get my news from the friends. So tell me what's going on in the news.
That's literally how it happened. I was in a fitness class this morning. I was teaching, and one of my like participants came in, and she was like, "Well, I'm here," and I was like, "Yay!"
Great response.
Yay, you're here.
I love that.
Is so great. She's like, remember I told you last week I wasn't going to be here? I'm like, oh, what happened? She's like, I was supposed to be in Cuba.
Oh.
And they shut down all the flights to Cuba.
Oh.
From Canada.
Wow.
Yeah. Sidebar.
Yeah, righty then. This is life. Little tangents.
Yeah, don't go to Cuba. But anywhere else, you should go.
Yeah. I remember when I wanted to go to Brazil in the beginning of last year, there was like this huge bubble of fear around going to Rio de Janeiro.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys think that, but you're already popped through the world.
I always feel that in like the very big cities, like even anywhere, even Toronto or something like that. I'm just like, I don't like it to begin with. And now it's just a foreign, very big city, and that always does make me a little nervous. But like we just traveled through Mexico City this last one, and that was a big scary one, as we're told, in Canada or whatever, and whatever, it was totally fine.
Yeah, I know. The fact that you guys did that is awesome, because I went to Mexico in November with a group of friends, and just observing the differences between the groups, the girls in the group. Yeah. There was one that's like, I don't even want to leave the resort. I don't feel safe. And I was like, what about even just in the day? And then here's you guys, on the other hand, who just got back like, what, a week ago? Or whatever, how long ago? And you rented a car with your kids driving around, taking the roads like locals.
Yeah.
And like, I think there's something huge in that, in the sense of like, inside yourselves, you've done enough work to be able to cultivate feeling safe within yourselves, to trust in your instincts, to, you know, knowing how to face fear and be like, nah, I don't need to live by that. And like trusting when you have to make the call to say, okay, this doesn't feel safe, let's reroute.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Whereas other people, they live by what we're being fed, which may or may not be true.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so it was like a mixed bag. So we didn't leave the resort that whole time.
Oh my God.
And I would have
Where
been
were
like,
you?
I was in Mexico, I don't know, like half an hour from the Cancun airport.
Okay, yeah. That's where we went last year, yeah. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But it is like resort
It's not my
style
jam.
traveling.
Yeah. But it was just to be with friends. That was my reason for being there. It wasn't my choosing. I would have chose to do what you guys do.
Yeah.
Totally.
But I would have had hesitation to do Mexico only just because of the stories that are being fed. Eventually, that fear, we're influenced by our surroundings. That fear would seep into my thought process.
Yeah.
And I'd think, maybe not Mexico. Maybe other places I would do, but maybe not. And now I love when I'm proven wrong on things. I love when it's like, we did it. And it was great. We loved it. And it was safe.
From where we were, I would say, I guess we weren't out much in the Yucatan, but like that whole area seemed totally fine to me. And then all of Oaxaca, we drove all the way through it. And again, I always say, like, I see more like violence and weird things happen on the street in Canada and like in our
downtown Niagara
downtowns.
Falls. Like, how do I explain homelessness and drug addiction to my kids?
I'm like, you know, you have to cross the road with your kids because something crazy is going on over here. Like, that's only ever happened to me in Canada.
Naked and screaming. And,
Mexico or any of the other countries, Peru, like all the Central
Caribbean,
American countries we were at.
Yeah.
Like, there was never any of that.
No.
Yeah.
No, it really, I mean, it's a North American thing just to have the media and fear, period, I feel like, right? Like, just to be exposed to, like, the fear-mongering.
It's very true.
That's probably why we don't look at the news.
That's a huge reason why I never liked it.
No.
As a kid, my parents used to tell me I had to watch the news.
Yeah, ours too.
I would be like, no. And I actually would like zone out and like I couldn't even pay attention. I actually only would see colors on the screen and objects. And I wasn't paying. It was like a part of me would shut down because I probably didn't want to absorb it.
Yeah.
And it was like, we don't need to see this much of
This
this.
isn't going to help me.
No.
Yeah.
It's not going to serve me.
Sometimes, yes, of course. A little bit, you know, we need to be aware and like be well researched and educated in the world. But I don't think we need to see that much news. And then when I was going through my healing and that trauma time, I actually was so bad that I couldn't watch the news because it was too hard for me. Like I'd get emotional, I'd cry, I'd like start to have anxiety, and I'd be like, we have to turn the news off.
Yeah.
It cannot be played when I'm around, when I'm in the house.
Yeah.
You got to turn it off.
Yeah.
I hate the news. I still complain about it. If anyone puts
I
the
hate
news
it
on,
too.
I'm like,
I
gotta
turn
turn
it
it off.
off. Yeah. Yeah, I think it
I think like our generation knows better too. The older generation is like so sucked in, like this is the truth and this is what we all need.
We're a good
now.
person because we're watching it. We make sure we know about other
We're
things.
good citizens.
Yeah, we're good citizens. I think
Or
it
I'm
comes.
just like, this is like force-fed trash and nobody needs to.
And we don't know
consume it.
what's
Like,
really real.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm starting to see now too. Before I used to think things were real that were being out there put into the world. Now it's, and even more so now that AI is out. So my uncle said that he thinks AI should have like a little emblem or something that's like, if it's an AI generated thing, it should have like a little logo that's like, this was generated by AI.
Yeah.
So now we know.
They are doing some of that in the social media.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like, man, what is this?
Yeah, you're
it's
tricking
getting harder
me.
and
It's even
to
harder
tell.
now. No.
Yeah.
And that's just taking it to another level. Like I was just meaning like the news that we're fed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's like, well, we don't know anything. What's
Yeah.
real? Just
And
ourselves.
yeah, it does, again, it brings up a good point that it just turns you into this
what-
like dysfunctional person because you just don't believe anything, right? You're like,
Yeah.
I'm just I don't know. It
Yeah.
sucks not believing anything.
Totally. I know.
That's why you have to go have those real experiences because you
gotta
know
see it.
that is real.
Yeah.
That's
saw it with
exactly
your
it. And
eyes.
that's how we believe in everything is you just keep
See it with your
experiencing
own
life
eyes.
for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, with your loved ones in
Yeah,
community.
Yeah, you really do need to see
That's
it for
why
yourself.
community is important.
Yeah.
We live through each other's experiences together.
Yeah, and I
then
think that's
what's
the
real.
most real thing now is somebody telling you their experience, right? Is just saying like, oh, I went there and I did that. And they're like, oh, well, I believe what you say because you're my friend. I don't know what this guy's saying on TV, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that does like play a big part. And I think as empaths, like we have to really recognize that you are that personality and you're really feeling what other people feeling and you're protecting yourself so that you can be present for the people that you actually are healing, right? You're part like you're supporting your community. So for me to keep that out of my mind means that I can go into my studio and be empathic with the mothers that are standing right in front of me that need my care, as opposed to this, whatever we're watching on TV. Like I feel for everything that's happening, probably too much that it's to a point where like I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Somebody's being bombed over there. Why is that helping me to know about it? Like I'm devastated and I can't help. I'm helpless. My hands are tied. I can't fly there. I don't have enough money to like bring food to these people. It's awful.
Yeah, I know.
Horrible.
It is. The only thing we can do, I guess, is to believe in the power of energy and sending like good energy or good thoughts or like, sending that way.
Yeah.
Is the only thing I think like in that situation.
Yeah.
But maybe it's sure, there might be purpose for certain things to be shared because there might be someone who does see it that can help.
Totally.
Or we're just in a different place in life. But we can just send love or, send good vibes. Like energy pulling is a big thing I would do sometimes in some of my like events.
Yeah.
If you do the energy pulling. And I actually did that when I first started school in Australia. And I told you I didn't want to be a student at first.
Yeah.
And then my first teacher, I heard through the grapevine, was like so brutal, so hard on everyone. Like she just like was just terrible. And so what I did for like 1 to 2 weeks before, I actually every single day for however, maybe 5-10 minutes, I don't know, would do energy pulling where I would imagine I'd feel the energy of love in my body and then I would push it from my heart over to her heart, through her heart, around her back, around my back, through my heart. And it kept going around.
Oh my God,
and I sent her so much love, right? I did it to the point where I feel goosebumps and I would just send this teacher love because I already met her to her face. So I could picture her.
Yeah.
And then I would take the love from her and send it to me.
Wow.
And I did that. And I imagined the two of us looking at each other's face in the eyes and smiling at each other like we were so happy and loved each other.
Wow.
And then I go and I have my first meeting. I go to class. I have my first meeting with her after class or whatever. And, oh no, she's like, I'd like to have a meeting with you. And I was like, yeah, all right. And she's like, look, I can see that, English is your first language. You're very smart. You're well-versed. Seems like you already know a lot of this information that I'm teaching in the course. And she's like, so I trust that you probably don't need to come to class. You can just send your assignments in, whenever they're due on the deadline.
Holy.
But I don't have to keep attendance on you. I'll still mark. I don't even know if I should be saying this. Like if it ever gets around Australia, she's like, you don't have to come. You don't have to come.
Wow.
I'll still mark, but you have to get all your assignments in and et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, all right, great. And I went home and I was like, yes,
it's because I loved her.
It's because we did the energy pulling work. I sent that love. I created that little bubble,
Yeah.
And then I was off the hook. I didn't have to go to class for like a year.
Wow.
I was so lucky.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Especially if people were saying that she was like a hard teacher.
Yeah, she was very hard on people because a lot of people who were there were English was their second language.
Okay.
So they had to go to class because they needed that help. They needed to be like kind of watched and guided and stuff.
Right.
Whereas I'd sit in class I went for that first week and I sat in there and I was just like, we're still on this? We're still on this first question?
Yeah.
So she saw that it was a waste of my time and that I'd speed through it. So I did. That was great. Yeah.
That makes me think of, like just how do you feel or what's your understanding of like karma?
Oh, big man.
Right?
Oh,
I just got in a fight with a girl the other day 'cause she was just like, karma doesn't exist. I was like, well, I disagree.
Well,
I'm like, tell me all the bad things that happened to you.
Yeah.
Because you just have a resting, angry face.
Yeah. Well, I'll just put a little precursor here is I'm somebody who believes in almost everything.
Yeah.
I believe in everything. Like that's like something about myself I've learned over the years that I like. It's like a great thing. I believe in everything pretty much. Like most things.
That's why we get along.
That's why we get along really well.
We're just open.
But and if there isn't something that I'm still open to the fact that there's a possibility that I could believe in it and other people can and that's real for them, 100%.
Exactly.
But the karma, I definitely believe in it. And I actually feel like I felt it so strongly at one point of my life. And then I remember feeling the shift of feeling like I cleared my karma and I've paid my dues and I'm in a good standing.
Come on.
I had that. That was right after this time I referenced in the beginning of this podcast that we started is when I had this wild accident and stuff.
Right.
Like those years of my life and maybe 3 years later, everything in that time. But then within the 5 years after that, I remember feeling the shift and being like, oh, I've paid my karma in that area. I'm good.
Wow.
I felt cleared. And so at that point, I felt like it was only the karma that I might have brought onto myself. So then if I did something bad, then I knew that maybe later on it would come to get me. So I just had to keep myself in good standing.
Yeah.
Just try to do things from a good intentioned place.
Yeah.
Where I don't ill wish anything on anyone or anything kind of thing,
Yeah.
And so I try to stay in good standing now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I still am, but I think I am.
Yeah. And I feel it in such a direct way of just when I walk into a room and I'm like, yay, then I feel like everyone else is like, yay,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a direct thing for me. It's not even I was mean to my kids and then this lady yelled at me at a mall. It's not, for me, it's not as 1 equals 1 type of thing or 1 for 1. For me, it's just this overlying energy that you have. And like you said, right, it's not having bad intentions and you just want everyone to thrive together. That you do end up being the person or the connector, right, that ends up thriving a whole community because you're I have enough energy, I can pull it from all of us and give it to all of us and we can all use it together. It's such a direct
That's something
current.
You're really good at also.
It's it's a direct current thing. It's not I'm in this a plus minus scenario. It's just put it out there and it's going to come back right in the same room, same scenario, right?
And sometimes it comes back right away that. At other times, I don't know, maybe too, I still I think we also have different, let's say chapters or different levels. Like, if you're playing a video game, you get to like level 5.
Yeah.
We all have different levels where we go through one level and maybe it's like a 7-year cycle kind of thing. And then we go into another one. So maybe too, I'm in a new cycle.
Like
I might
season,
have other karmic things to move through in life.
Yeah.
But I think at that time, I definitely worked through a big chunk of bad karma. And then I got better. Because one of it was like, I remember when I was younger, I was like a little bit into stealing, which was terrible.
I was really into stealing.
I was into stealing, which is awful. And that, so
Yeah.
I paid my karma because like it came back for me. I had
was
to
really
pay my
into
dues on
stealing
that.
too. It's a weird thing
Isn't
as a
that
kid.
nuts?
Yeah.
Where do we get that from? I don't
Well, I
even
don't
know.
even like things now. Now I want to throw everything out. I'm like a minimalist.
I see you being that person. I still like things, but I don't take anything anymore, ever. I don't steal anything.
Oh my gosh, I would have a heart attack.
I just
if
am like,
ever
no, that's bad karma. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
No
yeah,
way,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, that's true.
But I hear you on the things also.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things out in the world.
So yeah, if anyone wants to come take your class or get involved with Body Talk, how can they do that?
Yeah, so if you want to come and take one of my yoga classes, I teach right now at a studio in Welland called Samadhi Yoga.
Amazing.
It's on Niagara Street, and it's hot yoga, actually. So the room is heated, so it's really nice and warm and toasty. It's not like too hot that you're like choking
Sliding
and
off
sweat.
of
Yeah,
yourself.
it's not
Yeah.
like hot power
I've taken
yoga.
some hot yoga
And
classes.
it's like a hatha style, so it's much more
Nice.
gentle.
Okay.
And like I said, we're always a little time for breathing, a little time for resting, and I try to have moments where there's stretching and moments where a little bit of difficulty, a little bit of strengthening, a little variety pack in there.
Amazing.
I do that on Thursday nights at 6:30, and then every other Thursday I hold a meditation group where we do different ways to come into that meditative state within. A lot of times it's guided meditations and breath work, but I try to do a variety of like tapping, sound healing. This week I'm going to do Kundalini yoga, do a little intro to that. Different ways to get to that place within yourself to feel that meditative kind of bliss.
Amazing.
So I try to do a little variety, and I do that every other Thursday, and that falls on this Thursday. So that's this Thursday, and I do it at the same studio, and it's right after my yoga. So that's at 8:00. So I have yoga at 6:30, meditation at 8. The meditation's every other Thursday, and that you can find on my Body Talk Instagram and Facebook page. I make posts, so if you just scroll through, you'll see my little meditation post. And then if you want to book in for massages, at the moment you just message me directly, and I just set up a time that works for you. I ask you, all right, what's ideal? This is what's available for me. What works best for you? And we work together to find a time to get you in.
Amazing.
And I work out of St. Catharines. So that one's just right downtown on James Street in St. Catharines. And everything's just, you can contact me on any of the platforms like Facebook or social or Instagram. Pretty soon I'll have a website and some links and things.
Yay, fun.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we'll put your handles at the bottom of the podcast.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was so fun to chat with you guys. I really love this. This is so fun.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Don't forget to follow us on Spotify, and you'll never miss a podcast.
All right, good night.